Okay, seems like we are ready. All right, let's get started with today's webinar. First of all, hello everyone, welcome. Thank you for joining us in this webinar about Tutator Forward 2025. My name is Fernando Padilla. I'm joined by Lia Huerta. We're both responsible for the Tutator Forward grant program at Fundación Tutator. And behind the scenes, we have Adriana and Luciano managing the QA chat. This webinar is being recorded and will be streamed live on our Facebook page. And after the session, we'll send the recording link to those who have registered for the webinar to their emails. Feel free to drop your questions at any time during the session in the QA chat. We'll do our best to answer them all. If we don't answer a few of them, we will have an open mic space in the session to make sure to read any question that was left unanswered. And you can also check our website, tutatorforward.com, where we've put together an FAQ with all the questions that you may have. And also you can contact us at any point at forward@fundaciontutator.ch. So let's get started.
Recording in progress.
There we go. This webinar will run for about 40 minutes. Here's a quick look at what we'll be covering. First of all, we'll start with a brief introduction to our team and share what drives us in this work. Next up, we'll walk you through the key details of the Tutator Forward grant program and show you some examples of some previous projects we've worked on. Then we'll talk a bit about technology and show you a demo of one of our past grantee solutions. And finally, we'll go over the application process and make sure to answer any questions that wasn't answered during the session in the QA chat. First of all, I'd like to start by briefly introducing the Tutator Foundation. Let's talk a bit about us. We're a Swiss-based nonprofit and part of the Tutator Group, a network of social enterprises and foundations that design tech solutions to support organizations working for social and environmental impact. Let me take a moment to share a bit about our origins. The founders of Tutator didn't come from the usual corporate world. Instead, they're two engineers with decades of experience in Silicon Valley high-tech industry. After leaving California, they set off on a journey around the world, visiting over 100 social projects and observing how social services were being delivered in various contexts. Along the way, they were inspired by the incredible work of many organizations, but they also noticed that many of them struggle without the right tools to handle the work and operate more efficiently. And that's when they asked themselves, what if we could apply our tech knowledge and tech skills to help these organizations work more effectively and create an even larger impact? And that's how it all began. From there, our foundation was born. We're a group of software engineers and human rights advocates driven by one singular goal: to create custom technology and solutions that help organizations save time and resources. What we really aim for, though, is very simple: to give these organizations the freedom to focus on what matters the most, delivering real impact to their beneficiaries without getting caught up in all the administrative work. And since then, and for over 15 years, we've been collaborating with a diverse range of organizations, ranging from nonprofits to government agencies across various countries. Now, I'll pass it over to Leah, my colleague, who will share more about the Tutator Forward.
Thank you, Fer, and hello, everyone. So as you saw, building technology is what we do best, and we're here to put that expertise in the hands of those driving real change. But we also know that technology can be very, very expensive, and that in the social sector, every resource has to go a long, long way. And because we wanted to bridge that gap, we created Tutator Forward. So it's our way of making custom technology accessible to organizations like yours, because we think that every organization driving real change deserves access to the right technology. So Tutator Forward is a one-of-a-kind, in-kind donation program where instead of offering generic tools, we do something different. So we create solutions that fit the real needs of the organizations we select. So every grantee receives a tailor-made platform built from scratch which is designed to help them at different levels. So from improving operations and managing programs to easily creating reports for donors and expanding their impact. So here are just a few examples that show the diversity of regions and themes we support. So from healthcare projects in Burkina Faso, to recycling initiatives in Uganda, to migrant support services across different countries. So as you can see, each project is unique, but they all share one thing. So they rely on custom-built technology to strengthen their impact and to better support the people they serve. So I would really like to emphasize that we are open to supporting a wide range of themes and regions, as long as the projects align with our mission of creating impactful and lasting change. And I guess you're wondering how do these solutions look like. So I would like to show you quick examples, Yeboah and WOW, so that you can see what a real solution looks like. So the first example is Yeboah. Yeboah is a system that we developed for l'Association La Veuve Nubienne. This is an organization working across several countries in West Africa. And their mission is to bring back an ancient construction technique, the Nubian mold. So they use these local, eco-friendly, and low-cost materials to provide sustainable housing for communities in need. And as their operations grew, they needed a better way to track construction progress and manage everyone involved. So we're talking about masons, technicians, field coordinators, and this type of people that work on their projects. But they have this big challenge. La Veuve Nubienne operates in regions with little or not access to electricity or internet, and that's why they needed a digital solution that worked completely offline. And that's how Yeboah was born. So they applied to Tutator Forward, I believe it was 2021, and they were one of our winners. And we built this software, Yeboah, which is a mobile and desktop tool that works entirely offline and syncs that automatically once a connection is available. So thanks to this tool, they have made huge improvements in how they manage information and coordinate their teams across Africa and France. And today, with Yeboah, they can collect data in real time. They can decentralize field reporting and have a much clearer view of their impact. So Yeboah, like many of our projects, shows that custom technology can be a powerful ally when even in places with limited resources and infrastructure. So the second example I would like to briefly talk about is World of Wakers, also known as WOW. This is a digital platform we built for Wake Up Cafe, an organization that helps people rebuild their lives after prison. People they call Wakers. That's why the name of the platform is World of Wakers. So Wake Up Cafe doesn't just offer services. They create this full support system. So we're talking about jobs, housing, mental health care, and most importantly, a strong human network to guide their reintegration. They started small with just one office in Paris, like 12 years ago, but they started to grow quite a lot, and today they operate in more than 10 locations across France. But here again, this growth also brought a lot of challenges, especially the need to keep track of more wakers, of more beneficiaries, protect sensitive information, and manage everything more efficiently. And that's when WOW came in. So we developed this secure, cloud-based, user-friendly platform that lets them track each beneficiary's progress, generate detailed reports for donors, and manage their partnerships, their events, documents, and programs all in one single place. So with WOW, Wake Up Cafe has been able to grow even stronger, keeping their work human, transparent, and personalized and efficient for all the wakers they serve. So I wanted to show you these examples because I want you to understand that Tutator Forward is not just a donation. We're talking about real digital transformation built specifically for organizations that are already creating impact and could go even further with the right tools. And because this is a very unique kind of program, we also want to be clear about what it's not. So, Tutator Forward is not a cash grant. We don't provide direct funding. We also don't supply equipment like tablets, computers, or any type of hardware. And we do not develop standard business software. So things like CRMs or inventory tools or accounting platforms, to be honest, there are already great solutions out there for to cover these needs. So what we do, as I was saying previously, is something very different. Like we work with our grantees just like we work with our clients. Fernando was talking about our foundation and about our social enterprise. So we will work with the grantees the same way that we would work with any of our regular clients. So this means in close collaboration from the very beginning and long after launch. So first, we partner with each organization to understand their work, gather their needs, and turn that into a concrete digital solution. And then we design and develop this fully tailor-made platform. And the good thing is that it doesn't stop there. So we also support the rollout. We train the trainers. We also offer 6 months of technical support to make sure the solution really becomes part of their day-to-day work. So the type of solutions we develop are not small. They actually demand thousands of hours of expert work and are valued between hundreds of thousands and up to $1 million. But the good news is that if your organization is selected, the development is fully covered through our in-kind donation. That said, the success of each project really depends on a strong collaboration, and we'll talk more about that commitment later. But first, I will hand it over to Fernando for a quick look at the kind of technology we create at Tutator.
Thank you. Thank you, Dia. All right, so to talk a bit about our technology, we want to jump right after this through a live demo of one of our developed systems. But first, we'd like to give you a quick look about the technology we use at the Tutator Foundation to build robust, secure, and advanced applications. First of all, our solutions are designed with features that enhance productivity and strengthen decision-making for any organization looking to expand its impact. Over the years, we've developed the Tutator Beneficiary Management Platform, or BMP for short, a specialized tool for managing beneficiaries and a wide range of related processes. These applications enables real-time access to data, helping organizations make informed decisions while offering custom features that are often not available in off-the-shelf software. Security is also one of our top priorities. Our platform is tailored to the specific requirements of each organization and includes a broad range of protective features such as multi-factor authentication, keylogger detection, IP localization and VPN usage, and data anonymization, amongst other essential features. Finally, it is important to know that organizations have the flexibility to choose their server location, including the option of intolerant hosting. This ensures full ownership and complete control for the organization over the application and its data. As for our technology, it is web-based, allowing access from any location and device. For settings with limited connectivity, we've developed applications that function offline and automatically sync data once internet is available again, as we saw in the example with Yeboah. This addresses the need of the organization operating in areas without electricity or with unstable connectivity. Additionally, our solutions are designed to be accessible from both desktop computers and mobile devices, adapting to the specific characteristics of each project. It should be taken into account that our platforms are designed to be modular. This means that it comes with independent components that function as complete solutions. This approach gives us two key benefits. It significantly reduces development time and costs, and it enables precise customization based on each organization's needs. Available modules, some of them include authentication systems, as we saw previously, report generation via Excel or Word, and graphical report visualization. Additionally, and one of the most important things is that the platforms we develop are highly scalable, capable of supporting everything from small local operations to system managing thousands of users and millions of beneficiaries worldwide. Finally, we work with open source technology, which allows us to reduce operational costs by eliminating recurring subscription fees. This makes maintenance simpler and more affordable, and enables any technical team to manage the application independently. While we do use open source, our platform itself is not open source. However, we do grant our clients a license that allows them to use, modify, and maintain the platform independently, ensuring full control and ownership. So this was a brief overview of the technology features behind our solutions. If you have any questions, as I said, please feel free to reach out in the chat or in email. Now, that being said, no explanation can match the value of hearing directly from those who have lived this process. So instead of continuing from our perspective, we want you to hear from one of our organizations that have already participated in Tutator Forward. Josue will share what the journey was like, the challenges they faced, how we built a custom solution together, and the impact it has made on the day-to-day operations.
Thank you, Fernando. Can you hear me?
Yeah, very well. Welcome, Josue.
Great. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Josue Bustillo from the Scalabrini International Migration Network, SIM. Very quickly, SIM is an umbrella organization established in 2007 in New York with more than 250 entities involved in various activities and services, helping people on the move in 35 countries. Our mission is to safeguard and promote the dignity and rights of migrants, refugees, internally displaced people, and seafarers worldwide. Last year, our organization was awarded the Tutator Forward program, and it has transformed our daily operations. So thanks to Tutator, we now have a state-of-the-art application, and we are very thankful for that. I will share my screen, right, Fernando? So I can show the application.
Yeah, of course. Go ahead.
You see it now?
Yeah, there we go. We can see it.
Great. All right. So before the implementing the system, we got some challenges, which I'm going to talk about right now. Prior to the implementing the new system developed through the Tutator Forward program, the Scalabrini International Migration Network faced several operational challenges. With over 100 programs in more than 30 countries, our data collection and reporting process were fragmented and inconsistent. Most of our centers relied on manual methods and isolated tools, making it difficult to centralize information, monitor services, and measure our impact across diverse geographic regions. This lack of integration hindered our ability to make data-informed decisions and communicate our results to donors and partners efficiently. So once we identified all the key challenges, we got into a collaborative path to a tailor-made solution with Tutator. The collaboration with Tutator was a turning point. From the beginning, the development process was truly participatory. The Tutator's team worked closely with SIM's leadership, program coordinators, and frontline staff to understand our operational needs, cultural sensitivities, and security priorities. Together, we design and redefine a custom-built case management and service registration system that aligns with our mission and workflows. The result was a platform that is intuitive, multilingual, secure, and adaptable to the different contexts in which our centers operate. like I said before, this tool has transformed our daily operations. The implementation of the new system has significantly improved our daily operations. It has allowed us to standardize data collection across all centers, monitor service delivery in real time, and generate comprehensive reports with just a few clicks. This has enhanced transparency, increased efficiency, and strengthened our ability to advocate for migrant rights and reliable aggregated data. And importantly, it has also empowered our staff to better track individual cases and respond more effectively to the needs of migrants and refugees. Thanks to the Tutator Forward program, we have moved from managing information in silos to working as a unified data-driven network. And this is our tool. So what you're looking at is a dashboard. This is where we can see all the data that has been entered from all the centers that use this system. And on the left, we have all the menu. We have the three main sections of the system, which is the casas. These are the centers where we register the migrants' information, last name, first name, and social demographic information. And then we have the services that are provided to these migrants, and then the jobs that are created on each center, the projects that they are carrying on. And then the other main section, it's the casas. This is where casas limited. This is where we add numbers only. We don't add names or social demographic information on this section. Just numbers of services that are provided in all the centers. And at the bottom, we have the Stella Maris. These are the seafarers, the fishers, the port workers, the truck drivers, the ship visits, the hospital visits, the services also that are provided to the seafarers and fishers and port workers and truck drivers, and also a section for projects where they can register all this information. And of course, I will say the most important thing of or one of the most important things of the system, it's the reports. This is where we create the reports for everything that it's registered in the system. And I'll show you real quick this infographics, I will say, because it comes with all the data that it's in the system. And we got graphics, heights, charts, and whatnot. And below we have, of course, the section where we create the users and the offices. And of course, this is an online system, and it can also be used offline. And this is it. Thank you very much, Fernando.
Thanks a lot, Josue, for that demo. I think it gave everyone a much clearer view of the kinds of systems we developed at Tutator, and how they can truly transform an organization's work. So I will talk about the application process later, but before that, it's important to be clear about what will be expected if your organization is selected as a 2025 grantee. So first, active participation will be key. We'll need a few key people from your organization to dedicate around 3 to 5 hours per week. This time commitment will allow us to understand your operations, map your internal processes, and gather your specific needs and stuff like that. And it's also it will also be important to have a designated IT administrator. So we're talking about someone who can support users and help integrate the solution into your operations once it's live. And finally, organizations will need to provide the necessary basic infrastructure. So Fernando talked about that already, but you will have to provide the computers, mobile devices, and the server to run and host the platform. And don't worry about that too much. If you're selected, we'll guide you through the technical recommendations to make this as easy as possible. I guess you are wondering if Tutator Forward is the program for you. And here I would like to say that if you're ready to innovate, so if you see technology not as an extra burden, but as a real way to strengthen your impact, and if you believe technology should adapt to your work and not force you to change how you work or how you run your programs, and if you're ready to invest time in building your organization's future, then Tutator Forward is for you. And we get a question quite a lot about what type of projects can organizations submit. And I would like to mention that when it comes to the type of proposals that you can send us, there is a lot of flexibility. So you can focus either on a specific program, so on a solution that supports a specific program of your organization, or you can also propose solutions that strengthen the entire organization. So what matters most is that your proposal addresses a real need and shows how technology, how custom built technology can help you create greater impact. So how can you apply? It's actually very, very simple, and I'll hand it over to Fernando, who will walk you through the application platform.
Thank you, Leah. All right, now for a very fun part. Let's actually look at the platform itself. We've talked a lot about the Tutator Forward, a lot of talk. Now we want to share the actual platform and how can you actually apply. So right now, let's go over to the link, which was in the screen, forward tutator.forward.ch. And first thing you need to see is that the platform is available in 3 languages. We have the platform available in French, English, and Spanish. Once there, you can try to register by clicking the Register Now button. You will see in this screen that you will need to fill out a short form with some basic information about who you are. This will allow you to create your account in just a few minutes. Right after I've filled all the information in this field, I will get an email, like the one shown on the screen, in which you will need to confirm your password. Afterwards, I have my account, I have my credentials, my email, and I have my password. I can finally log in into the platform. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Here, the first thing you will notice, a little pop-up window will appear that will show you the tour. The tour is designed to help you through all the processes in a digestive way, in a simple way. So first up, we have the home. The home is the section in which you will have a brief summary of everything that's going on in the platform. Next, you have all the 3 main forms: my profile, my organization, and my project. Please keep in mind that to submit your applications, you will need to complete all 3 forms and then submit your proposal. At any point, if you have any questions, any problems during the filling of the platform, you will find a small support button down below. There you can contact us and send us any info that you might require. Last but not least, you can invite people to work in your application alongside of you. So you have the main person who is the owner of the proposal, and then you can invite several other people to help you fill the information you might need. One thing that we like to keep in mind, it is very important to note, is that in my project section, you clearly explain the type of technological tool you are seeking, and that your proposals are aligned with our scope and values we've discussed during this webinar. So now we will head over back to home. After I have finished everything, every info available in the platform, I will have the submit button be available. Right now, since we can clearly see, I have not filled to the 100% all forms. Once I have that ready, that button will be available, and then you can submit your proposal. So that was a bit demo about platform for Tutator Forward. And now we want to go over some key dates. First of all, the call of proposals will be open from May 2nd to June 22nd. After that, Tutator will review all the applications and selected organizations will move on to phase two. Phase two runs from July 1st to July 22nd. Finally, the finalists will move on to phase three in August, where they will submit a few final details and participate in short interviews with Tutator between September 1st and September 12th. Finally, the selected organizations will be announced on September 30th. The idea for us is to start working with the winners or the grantees on October 1st. We're reaching near the end of this webinar, so before we wrap up, we'd love to open the floor to any questions we might have left unanswered during the chat. So right now, I'll take a look at the chat and see if there's any unanswered or if we have any interesting questions that we might answer. All right. Let's see. We have quite a few questions here. Let me read one. So the question goes, we currently use a number of commonly used off-the-shelf platforms for diverse things such as mailing and event registrations, and a popular CRM, but are finding that despite integrations, many of our processes remain manual and repetitive, wasting time of our small team. We are dedicated to the data that we regularly collect, but do not always have the bandwidth to ensure it is cleaned regularly and are often playing catch-up from day-to-day work done offline to pull together data for presentation and sharing with our stakeholders. We're also a member organization and would love to have a better way to share resources with our members securely. Finally, we are interested in the ways that we can leverage AI to be more efficient. Can you speak about whether this seems like it may be a worthwhile endeavor for organization? So first off, thank you for the questions. They're very good questions. We have that answer here, so let me go ahead and read it. We have that answer in the chat. We'd love to learn more about your proposal. If you could begin filling out the project into Tutator Forward, then we can help you with whatever project or workflows you might have internally. So that is the first part. Any type of question of how your workflow can improve or what can we do to eliminate all that labor, that manual work, will be answered through the application process. Next up, the systems we deliver are primarily focused on supporting the direct beneficiaries of the work and the organizations do. In this particular case, the main beneficiaries are other organizations. That is absolutely valid for everyone involved in Tutator Forward. However, we do want to clarify one thing. We don't build systems like CRMs or mailing platforms, as there are already many strong tools for that and specialized tools for that. Instead, our focus is on building tailored systems that help manage the people or the communities you work with, whether that be beneficiaries or other organizations themselves, and to generate real-time data and optimize internal processes. Let's see what else. I think there's one question. Another question that was risen during the same.
I would just like to compliment a little bit on the response, because I saw that we replied that we would need to see the proposal, but I would like to emphasize that one of the key reasons we created Tutator Forward is exactly what you described. I believe it was Sarah, right? So organizations using multiple off-the-shelf tools that don't fully talk to each other, so leading to a lot of manual work, duplication, and loss of valuable time. So we've seen this challenge with both the small and large teams, because sometimes organizations think that it only happens in or the program is only for larger organizations, but we've seen these problems in both type of organizations, and we can and it can really get in the way of focusing on your core mission. So we are definitely interested in helping cover this or facing these challenges. So with our approach, we don't just offer a plug and play system. So we work with each grantee to deeply understand their day-to-day operations, identify their most time consuming or repetitive tasks, and design a custom tool that brings everything together, including integrations with tools you already use when it's needed. And about the data cleaning, offline work and reporting, yeah, those are great examples of areas where automation sorry, can help, and we can build features that support data validation, streamline offline data entry, and even automate regular reports for your stakeholders. And about sharing resources securely with members, yes, that's definitely possible. So we've created password protected portals, and tiered access systems and member dashboards in the past. So depending on the use case, and about the AI, yeah, well, you already replied to that, but yeah, we're actually exploring ways to integrate AI tools that can support things like summarizing reports, or I don't know, detecting anomalies in data or things like that. But that said, any AI feature would be carefully, like analyzed and tailored to the context. So yeah, please, we will be happy to receive your application, and so that we can better understand what you're looking for. But definitely, these challenges that you mentioned that you're facing is something that could be addressed with a solution created by Tutator. So thanks a lot for that question.
Thank you for your comments, Leah. Yeah, one more thing that I would like to add, primarily related to the AI implementation, I would like to add a bit about other implementations that we are frequently asked. So, as you said, you want to implement AI or want to look at a way to implement AI. I'd like to add to that we have actually lots of implementations and connections to other services. So at any point, if you need, whether be it AI or a connection to an API for a calendar, or you get your data from other services, we can do all sorts of connections between our platform, the platform we develop for you, and the services you get data from. So that is another thing that we wanted to clarify. All right, let's go to another one. All right, let's read this one. If I ask, they are currently in a procurement process to acquire software programming services that are closely linked to their operations. In this context, they would like to know if they submit the project, would they get any feedback before the closing date for phase one? And so the answer to this is, while we greatly appreciate all the applications, all the proposals that we're having, we sadly cannot provide any feedback before the closing date, which we that of June 22nd. So we cannot give you any feedback on your projects or do any comments on the status of your projects before the mentioned date. Afterwards, on June 22nd, we will then roll out the announcement for feedback and for the status updates of any of the proposals submitted to Tutator Forward.
Yeah, and what I can say is that we will start reviewing the applications from next week. So we are all the selection team will start working on studying your submissions from a earlier stage, but we didn't know how many submissions we'll get, so we might end up finalizing the process earlier, but we cannot commit to give you any feedback before the date. In case we do have the results of the first phase earlier, we will announce that to publicly to everyone.
Thank you, Lee. Another interesting question here is, Sharon is interested in an app that can quickly access clinical information, or medical professionals can access this information. So they're asking if an app will be funded with this topic in mind. And the answer is yes, absolutely. We actually do have quite a few projects we've worked on healthcare. So if those are the visions of the app we want to develop, our values and goals are definitely aligned with those. So that is a very good proposal initiative. Right. Let's see for another question. I don't think we have.
We haven't.
We have
Yeah.
another one that is left unanswered. So how many submissions were there in the previous program, on the previous iteration of programs? The number of proposals actually varies a lot from iteration to iteration. We sometimes get hundreds, we sometimes get thousands. So that's why we have clear dates for proposals answering. But there is really no specific answer to that one. It really depends on how many proposals, on how many organizations are interested in developing their own custom technology.
Yeah, I think we had last time, like yeah, the last version of Forward, we had something around between 300 and 400 organizations completing a like the full proposal, because we had around 1,000 organizations registering, but not all of them end up submitting their proposal. So we had a bit less of 400 submissions.
That is correct. Another question here we have from the previous iteration. Was there a predominant theme in terms of the types of things being solved for? Speed, scale, cost, time to completion? Actually, no, there isn't a waiting for a specific aspect of the platform. What we really aim for is for the platform to actually make a social or environmental impact, and for the goals of them to be shared with Fundación Tutator. For example, as to answer in a specific part of this question, as to the scale of platforms being developed, we've had massive platforms built for grantees winners. We're talking about lots of data, thousands of users and beneficiaries, even millions of beneficiaries. And we've had very small local operation grantees. So there's not actually a topic or a specific part of the development process that we value more than others. We just want to look at the values and the final goal of the platform and the impact it will create. Great. I think we've answered quite a few questions. I don't think we have any more.
Yeah, just to comment a little bit on that question. We actually saw a mix of priorities, but I would say the most common themes were reducing manual work, centralizing information, and saving time. So many organizations came in with multiple disconnected tools. So a lot of them, they were using Excel sheets, or I don't know, Google Forms, or I don't know, WhatsApp messages, or even paper records. And needed a system that would bring everything together in one single place. So I would say that speed and efficiency were like huge drivers for the applications that were applying last time. We also saw a strong interest in scalability. Some grantees were growing quickly, like the examples I mentioned about Yeboah or Wake Up Cafe, sorry, La Bonne Vienne and Wake Up Cafe. Their teams were, I mean, they started to grow a lot, and they wanted to spend more time on mission-driven work rather than data cleanup or repetitive tasks. So just to sum it up, yes, I would say that speed and time savings were big, but the real goal was building smart systems that actually support how the organization works and grow with them.
Great. Thank you for your comments again. Very, very appreciated. I think we have quite a few questions. We'll make sure to answer one or two additional questions, so we'll move on. First of all, what type of follow-up or ongoing support is expected after the initial 6 months? This is a very good question. So we have 6 months of support, during which we support you in anything you need from the platform, perform fixes, and perform updates, and the usual things. After the 6 months of support, we can suddenly no longer actively develop the platform. We can help you maintain it, but if additional work is needed on the platform, let's say you want to add new things, or you want to fix some errors that were presented after the support period, we do offer support contract extensions at a price that we are privately discussed with each organization. And in any case, if the support that you need is not a big thing, you just need small local support, we're always welcome to, we're always eager to help you in anything you need. Okay, so one more question and then we'll move on. As a follow-up to Leah's response on the predominant side of things, was there a predominant platform type that was used to solve the problem, like SQL database or off-the-shelf app integration? Actually, we do have predominant technologies we use. We have actually lots of technology we use, but to answer things rather simply, the predominance is for open source technology. Each project needs specific things, and some tools addresses those specific things better than others. So we use lots of different open source software like MariaDB. We use as in programming language, you use Node.js lots of times, Angular for the front ends. So there's not actually a specific technology we use, as long as it is open source and as long as it is the best tool to fit your needs. All right. Great questions, great questions. We're very happy to answer them all. We will move on, but like I said, if you have any additional questions that we could not answer, you can check that out in our webpage, tutatorforward.com, or send us an email at the main email in the screen, forward@fundacion.tutator.ch. All this information that we talked about during this webinar or in the questions are there on our page. And thank you. We really thank you for joining us. Having this time to talk to you is very good for us. It's our pleasure. We're very excited to see what type of proposals we'll get into Data Forward, and we're truly excited about what we can build together. So thank you everyone for your participation and have a wonderful day. We'll share the recording with you to your emails.
Also, a special thank you to Josue from Scalabrini.
Thanks a lot, Josue. Thank you, everyone, for participating.
Sure, guys. Have a good one. Bye bye.
See you. Bye. Bye, everyone. Have a great week.